Now, as I told you, we're going to be talking about a couple of things that we talked about yesterday, just kind of expanding on those a little bit. And one of the things that we talked about yesterday, of course, was Liam Neeson, who yesterday I described as beat up everything and finally just had to beat up himself. This man went out and talked about this, and you've heard it, and we'll play some of it for you. But he was doing this. He's got a movie coming out. That's another movie where he's just tracking people down and killing them until he find the person that hurt his family.
I know he's tired of doing these.
I know it's the same movie now every time.
Is he?
Yeah, I'm sure.
He keeps doing them.
Well, Billy, you're an actor. You're gonna go with the scripts you're given, and you got to make money.
I mean, Liam Neeson's doing just fine. That's all I'm saying.
I know he's doing just fine, but
maybe not.
How many people he gonna track down and kill and beat the shit out of? They're all the same movie. I like the way the shit got so redundant that he just went and beat up a wolf. you know, even the wolf was like, "Man, I ain't hurt your family, shit." You know, I mean, it's weird,
that
man.
Could be all the things he's getting offered, and so he's like, I got to work, I got to do something.
But that's what. No, you're right. So. But it's like he's getting typecast.
Yeah. It's one of those where you go like, I just want a good script, and it's like, well, I don't know about a good script, but we got 10 scripts where you track down people and get revenge.
Yeah.
And they'll pay your quote.
All right, give me one of those.
It's the beginning the same thing. I wish they just make him the same character where he's just going around just beating the shit out of people just for no reason. You know?
Right. But he's always the same character.
Give me back my parking space. Shit, man, I'll move.
Would you have the same reaction if your friend had said it was a white man? Would you want her to go out and kill him?
If she'd have said an Irish or a Scot or a Brit or a Lithuanian, I know I would have had the same effect.
No, I used to eat at Popeyes all the time, man. I used to go for the Wednesday special. You ever had that before?
What was that?
It's a two-piece to the side of DTmerch.com.
Man. Hook, line, and sinker.
Because I was like, there is no Wednesday special. What's he up to?
It is now, Martin. Get that two-piece with a side of Kung Fu TJ. The Kung Fu TJ shirt is in DT merch right now. We're always going to have that classic black tee with the white logo. We have the jerseys. We have the stew pots for you still in there. We got the baby tees for all you little crumbs coming up in the world. The phone covers and the gift of choice we have for you right here. The Valentine's Day sale that's going on. Ooh. This is going on up until Valentine's Day. You buy one shirt, you get a second one. Or buy any item, you get a second one, 14% off. You can show us how you love us by going over to doubletoasted.com and supporting us and keeping these shows going, keeping this business going. We do depend on your support, mostly through the means of subscription. So please subscribe if you can. Even if you don't do it for yourself, do it for somebody out there who is not fortunate enough to have that toasted goodness all over their body. They got to make, look, and it would make so much sense. They have to make one where somebody gets on his porch and steals his Amazon package.
You're right, because everybody would love that.
Give me back my package. That'll be the end of it. But if you don't,
I'll go you one better. Next one's going to be Lego my ego.
Yeah. Just give me back my package. That'll be the end of it. He's doing another one, man. This one's Cold Pursuit. Somebody.
Oh shit!
Man, he's turning.
He's thought in that title.
These generic titles.
He's turning to Steven Seagal, man.
Yeah.
You know, Cold Pursuit. Why? Because well, first of all, get it? It's the opposite of Hot Pursuit. The other reason why is because he's kicking ass in the snow. Somebody overdosed his son. Now he wants to find these drug dealers.
Oh, seriously?
Yeah.
I'm not bullshitting, man. Oh. No, in the middle of a fucking snowstorm somewhere.
Carl's dead. Viking. He likes hurting people. What is it with all these nicknames? Speedo, Viking, Eskimo. It's a gangster thing. Did you have a nickname? Wingman.
When he said Wayman, I thought it was going to be like, give me back my nickname. I didn't know it was
yours. He looked at him like, that's the most pathetic shit I've ever heard in my life.
It really is. Man, they need
He really
did. He really did.
The other guy's name was Speedo, though.
He forgot about getting revenge for his son. He was just kind of like, Wingman? He was like,
I was just joking, man. Did you really have that?
That's fucking stupid. Like this script. Are you serious? Yeah, man, this is that's what he does all the time. Nobody knew that shit was a true story. It's probably the most racist way. Nobody. As I said, nobody knew that Taken had a racist prequel to it. You know, because the story is, and look, it's sad in all accounts, man. I mean, it's sad because what happened is, it really, I mean, it's almost like Liam Neeson, this was his destiny to play these roles because his. Oh, so you didn't know? You need a refresh on that.
Yeah. I know very little about it.
Okay,
just a little bit.
Well, let me actually give you a good refresher on this. He was doing an interview with the Independent, and the reporter sat down, and he said, "Thank you, Mr. Neeson. How's your day going, by the way?" And he's like, "There was once this black bastard raped a friend of mine. And I want to kill every black person after that." You know, and I'm paraphrasing, but
I'm talking to a journalist.
He really was. Okay. So because he's promoting this movie, Cold Pursuit, which just like most of his movies these days are the theme of revenge.
Right.
You know, I guess they just finally came up and like, hey man, you do a lot of revenge movies. This is a revenge movie right here. You know, what's your take on revenge? What's your philosophy in real life? You know, something like that. And he talked about how terrible revenge is because he talked about this incident in his life where a very dear friend of his was raped, and he went out looking for this person. Now, of course, anybody can understand the feelings that he would have for this, and it's a terrible, terrible thing that happened. Believe me, no one's making light of this, and no one's trying to actually take away his feelings of what he had at that moment. What's up?
Well, no, I'm saying first what he did was he asked questions about what the person looked like, and this is.
Well, I was gonna play.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
I got the clip right here because I didn't know because yesterday when we played it, I didn't actually know. It was funny too because I was talking about it and I thought I had this on a page where it was just a regular website with no player on it. Yeah. And while I was talking about it, I heard Liam Neeson behind me and I was like, oh shit.
Man, I ain't ready nobody.
Black bastard would come out of a pub and have a go at me about something, you know, so that I could kill him. I'll tell you.
No, that's in the review. That excerpt right there.
So he really did turn into Frank Castle for a week.
Shit, he turned into Liam Neeson. Shit, that's why I say that dude. He was destined to play these roles. Shit, Taken was almost like that was the foretelling of his career.
Instead of us making a movie, how about we just film your life for a week?
Yeah. Like, you know, people really thinking like, damn, has he really killed somebody? You know? And I think a lot of, first of all, like I said yesterday, I think a lot of black people were upset because they said if anybody can go out and pull this shit, it's probably Liam Neeson. Who's crazy enough to like go out and try to like beat up the black community. If you saw the show yesterday, which is What Up, Son, go listen to it if you want to hear what we thought yesterday, and I'll expand on what my thoughts are today. But between that time that we talked about it last night and this morning, which is why I'm talking about this again, is he came on Good Morning America, and everybody knew that he was going to pop up somewhere and do a follow-up interview, which I even said, no, brother, you can't just tell this story and just say, oh, that was horrible. I said, no, we gotta have a follow-up dialogue to this. And sure enough, he went on Good Morning America, and he did an interview explaining what he meant by that. And a lot of it I kind of knew. It was something that happened years ago. He's a different person now than he was back then. It's something that no one's going to understand if you haven't been in that position. But I am, I feel horrible about it. And here's his appearance on Good Morning America.
He looks surrounded.
Liam Neeson, who has a new movie out. It's called.
He really does look surrounded.
When I watched it this morning, I was like, God damn.
These people look like say something. Just say one wrong thing.
It can be very uncomfortable for people, and it just caught people off guard.
Yeah. That dude back here wants to beat his ass. Sir, I am married to a black woman.
I think she's fine.
He's like Steve Martin. Sir, I am a black bastard. He was adopted by a black family.
Either that or he's Liam Neeson's security light.
Yeah.
Make sure nobody
fucks him. They should have Mel Gibson in the audience so he can say, like, I honestly don't see anything wrong in what he said.
What's the problem? Yeah. And it's funny. It's funny looking at this because out of all these movies that he's been in where he ain't showed no fear, this is the first time I've seen him scared as fuck.
Yeah, that's right.
It's the first time I've ever seen him like about to get an ass whooping and he actually feared.
He said he took a shot in that dressing room, the green room, before he went on there. I got to do this shit, goddamn it.
You know, the topic of our film is revenge, and it's a dark comedy too, but its base is revenge.
A dark comedy to you.
I mean, you know what? Now that he says that, I want to see it. Because that whole thing of the guy being named Wingman
Yeah, that's what I was thinking
and the leader of those gangsters, some dude in a fine blue
Yeah,
suit. I'm
yeah.
like, you ain't no gangster.
Would you have had the same reaction if your friend had said it was a white man? Would you want her to go out and kill
definitely.
him?
If she'd have said an Irish, or a Scot, or a Brit, or a Lithuanian, I know I would have had the same effect.
You would have been working still to this day if it had been a Brit. You know, it's easy to narrow it down to a black person in Ireland. You know, that's where I'm like, okay.
Was he in Ireland? I wonder if he was in England.
I think he was in Ireland because he was talking about how the troubles and everything. But I'm like, man, if it was a Sky,
Yeah, all you had to do is just go hunt down Thin Lizzy.
yeah, exactly. I mean, I know you beat up half of Europe already, but there's a difference in that. But
Do you think you actually would have done if a innocent black man who had nothing to do?
Yeah, I know. That was my feeling. That I did want to lash out. Yes.
You making these statements?
you know, it's so funny. Everybody's so solemn in there and so sad looking. And that shrimp just back there just grinning. Shrimp just
Oh, Bubba Gump.
that shrimp is like, get him, Neeson.
Can I ask one more question? Wind it back, man. What's up with the Asian Harry Potter from Star Trek?
Who you looking at?
Rewind a little bit.
Oh, right here?
No, he's over there. You'll see him in
The
a
one
second.
that got me is this dude right here who just
I
kind of
know.
like, man,
That's what's funny. Everybody's looking solemn, but none of them are looking at him. They're looking all over the studio.
nobody want their ass beat. That's why. And this dude could give a fuck less. He thinking about lunch.
I know.
Shit,
His handler.
he's thinking about Bubba Gump right now.
Yeah, he's looking at the Bubba Gump sign on the other side of the room.
In this country, it's the same in my own country too. You sometimes just scratch the surface and you discover this racism and bigotry, and it's there.
You didn't even hear the reporter when he told the story. That the reporter was just kind of like in the version I heard earlier. He was just kind of like Jesus, and people don't know if people saying Jesus to the story like Jesus, man, shut the fuck up.
I think that's what he was saying. Shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
Because when
man.
you hear him, he's like, "Wow, you really just said that, didn't you?"
Yeah.
Back to the movie. Like I'm trying to help you out, man.
You're admitting that it was wrong. You've learned from that. But you have to also understand the pain of a black person
Of course.
hearing what you said. What
Of
you said.
course.
What she is saying is it's kind of to the effect of what I was saying last night, even including the part where it's like, well, you know, we also have to consider that no one found this information. You know, he put it out
Yeah.
there. It's not, you know, it's not anything that he tried to hide.
Yeah, and he's not trying to hide it now or shy away from it.
No. And there's a reason why. I know this seems like this is a big deal made about Liam Neeson, and it's not. A lot of people still talking about this, in my opinion, for a particular reason. But before I even get into any of that, I've had my say about it last night. You know, I kind of want to throw this to you guys, especially with you just seeing this, Martin. You know?
Right. And I guess I knew a little bit, but I hadn't heard it. I didn't know all the details that went to it. I mostly saw reactions. I saw some people saying, wow, okay, well, he admitted it, and he said that he used to feel this way, and it's been a while. And some people saying, I still say fuck him. So to watch it all, you know what? It's one of these things where I guess if you have looked up to Liam Neeson as a hero, you see this could really hurt your feelings and make you feel differently about him. I look at it and I go, man, that sucks, especially, you know, being a black man. The idea that I could have been going to the pub and Liam Neeson would have jumped out of nowhere and beat me to death with a crowbar.
And actually made Taken come to life.
Yeah, you know, that's certainly scary and hurtful.
And a young Liam Neeson too at that.
Yeah.
He said 40 years ago.
That goddamn Excalibur, Liam Neeson. You know?
I do applaud the fact that he said it and hasn't backed down. So many people have had these feelings and just keep it bottled up. Nobody's ever real. I mean, he's actually being real about it. He didn't actually do the thing. His friend did get raped, and anybody who hasn't gone through something like that thinks they know, well, you should have done this, you should have done this. In a highly charged, traumatic situation, man, people react all kinds of different ways that they don't know. And it is something where he recognized that it was wrong and has, taken steps to not feel that way again, or really feel some kind of way about it. And even him talking now, it's like you watch, you go like, man, just shut up, just shut up. It's like, yeah, he could have shut up at any time, but he's actually fully going with it and embracing it, and taking the slings and arrows of it and just searching himself or confessing for whatever good it does. I mean, ultimately, it doesn't have a big effect on not just my life, but anybody's life, really. So I don't know. I just look at it and go like, well, it sucks, but I think in the end, he's actually being more brave than most people would be.
My main thing is, like, what got me first was the bastard comment.
That was something else.
Now, when I think about it, he's smiling. You bastard. Everything's bastard. And I think that also maybe that he was commenting in the context of how he felt at the time. Like, any black bastard I see, I'm gonna hit over the head with this koch, whatever the fuck he said it was. I'm like, conch.
Conch,
like a koch.
seashell.
Yeah. Koch, yeah. I listened to the rest of it, and like I said, I think that he is sincere. Now, on this Good Morning America interview, I got to be honest. As much as I love Liam Neeson, he is deflecting. I mean, like, we didn't ask you about Schindler's List. We didn't ask you about the swastika.
Yeah.
We didn't ask you about the troubles in Ireland.
I was thinking the same
and that's
thing.
the thing. That's why I asked y'all still. I'm not even sure that took place in Ireland. He by deflecting, he started talking about the Catholics and the Protestants. He may have been living in London.
Well, no, he mentioned. Well, okay.
He said out of the country. He never said what country.
Yeah, I guess
and he's lived in London. He's lived in London for years. He may be from Ireland, but I'm just saying. I mean, plus, how many black sections of Ireland are there, especially Northern Ireland?
There was some
40 years ago?
Yeah, it was small. It was very small, but there were some black people over there.
No, I'm not saying there were no black people over there, but he's like the black area.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah,
it just sounds more of a London thing to me.
Okay, gotcha.
But maybe I'm wrong.
Oh yeah.
But
okay.
anyway, what I'm saying is, my point is that's not here nor there. My point is, no matter where he was, there was deflection going on there, and that's why she kept stopping. If you notice, because he started going, well, the troubles. Well, why don't you explain what the troubles are? Well, the Protestant pubs would get blown up, the Catholic pubs. But she was like, yeah. But what about this? Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Well, when we were shooting Schindler's List, I heard somebody make an anti-Semitic. Yeah. That's terrible.
We talking about
Germany.
you.
Yeah. I mean, well, what do you think the teachable moment is? Well, let me throw it back to you, Robin. It's like he threw it back at her instead of just answering the question.
Well,
and like I said,
think he was also doing that as saying, maybe it's not up to me to decide that. That's
Sure.
But there's also, if I told a story and somebody said, "What's the teachable moment?" I might not know the answer to that. I'd
That's
be
true.
Like,
Yeah.
Be like, oh, you tell me.
Yeah.
Right, but I think I would have an answer to that if I told the story. That's just me. That's just my opinion. I would say, because if it's been 40 years and I've had time to reflect on it and seek help, as he said he did, I've learned something, obviously, and I would just see I would just say what I've learned, and I just didn't get that from this interview or the other one.
Yeah.
So, I mean, especially when we're grilling right now, that doesn't make me like him any less. This is just my opinion on what I saw.
Yeah, I got you.
So-
Because I'm my whole thing was last night. I mean, it made it very clear that the internet wants to find a villain and keep them the villain.
Right.
They don't want anybody. They don't want anybody to move on. They want I'm enjoying this feeling of anger and hate right now. You ain't gonna ruin it for me. Right. You're gonna be a goddamn villain.
Right.
If I have, if I have something to say about it, I don't look. This
I don't feel that way.
This happened 40 years ago. This man didn't go through with the act. I don't want to see his life destroyed. I don't want to see his career destroyed. Why do we want to use the past of something that happened a long time ago to destroy people instead of live up to what we say, man, we should learn to understand each other, forgive each other, especially when somebody is fully, not backing down on what they've said
and being transparent,
not trying to make excuses,
Sure.
maybe deflecting a little bit, as you said, but
or trying to explain it to themselves.
yeah,
Sure.
Because somebody says okay, explain why you did that. It's kind of an emotion. You're like,
Sure.
I think it was this, and I grew up with this, and I can only imagine this played a part.
But maybe what he said, maybe he's not hurting people himself.
Right.
But what he said, and this is what I said last night, that does not, you do not get to just walk away from a statement like this with something that is still what you are doing and what you did is still a problem for people today. You know,
Agreed.
there's a reason why minorities are upset about this, because it is something that affects minorities more than it does somebody with that attitude. You know, we don't get that luxury of having to one day get up and say, man, we've been mistreated, which we catch a lot of shit.
Yeah.
If we can simply go out and just utter, man, I want to kill every policeman out there.
Oh, just say I hate white people.
I hate white
See
people.
what happens to you.
Yeah, it's we don't get.
You'll be
we-
ostracized.
That's not afford to us. Hearing what he says it hurts and it's angering, because because I think what happened with him, and I know a lot of people say he's not racist. I don't think he's racist, but what he did was, at the time, it could be debated, but I think comes from roots of racism in him. You know what?
Well, sure. You know, when you get mad at somebody, all of a sudden all those epithets start coming out your mouth in your car by yourself.
Yeah. When you hate somebody, you think of everything you can that you hate about them or that can hurt them.
Yeah, as much as I want to, I feel bad and the rape, but I said last night, man, that you already had some attitudes towards black people or people of color that came out in that moment. You know, and this is something where I say, I think if he wants a teachable moment, I don't think that he understands that.
Yeah, I think he doesn't understand what that means.
I don't think that he understands what he's saying is still a problem for people today.
You know, all I wanted to do was just go out there and beat the shit out of every dude I saw.
Yeah.
No, but
That's all I mean. But he went specific with it, which means to me,
Yeah.
there's no malice behind it, but at the same time, there's some shit he just don't get.
Yeah, and today with what I don't think he knows, especially in today's political environment here in America, how what he did is something that people are actively doing today. People in you know, especially with Trump in office, people who are in the name of patriotism, not racism and patriotism, don't speak Spanish in my store. You know, in the name of patriotism, get these thugs out my country. You know, it's Trump is actively painting a whole race of people out of fear because he knows people in their minds, out of some patriotic thing, they're going to do that. What he did is similar to what people are doing today. And you know, and it's something that's it still deeply impacts the black community, as we said today. That's why, you know, one guy said this is why cops shoot people, because the crimes of one person paints the whole race.
Sure.
That's why they're shooting people in the back, because they're painting as dangerous, because that's all they've seen.
During the State of the Union address, all the Republicans started yelling out, USA, USA. I was watching my mom and dad. We all started shaking. I mean, we're laughing, but I mean, when you start hearing a bunch of white people chant USA, it's like, oh, shit.
Because that's taking on a whole different context
Let's
today.
go to the panic room, y'all.
He came from a place of hurt and pain, and maybe he didn't think it was racist, but what he did led to this attitude that he had led to the death of many innocent people a long time ago. What he did was the spark of a lynch mob where they would go in, and you know, Emmett Till being one of the prime examples of that. But before Emmett Till, you know, what he was doing was the spark of lynchings that sometimes not even went out and killed one innocent person, but
This is round up a
went
bunch of them.
into communities and hurt people. This is why
The
people,
Phoenix Five.
the Phoenix, just recently. Well,
that wasn't recently. That was
but I'm thinking about the New York Five recently,
Yeah.
which Trump is still trying to paint as guilty. You know, I mean, you know, I'm just saying, you know, I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed how this came out and how I don't think he understands how, because like you said, there's still a lot of deflection going on. I mean, I came from this area and this area, and it's like, okay,
That's cool.
a lot of people come from bad areas, but they don't go out looking to kill motherfuckers like you did. You know, it's still, and I don't think he's trying to back down from it. You know, I don't think he's trying to make excuses. So I don't think people need to go in and hate this guy. He's
Right,
not the
I
same
don't think
person.
so either. I
But he
think
needs
he
to be
was-
made to understand
Sure.
what was going
Spend a little
on.
more time at his Beverly Hills house.
Cannot have somebody say something like this and not open it to a wider dialogue.
Yeah.
You know, but because it has a lot of relevance to a lot of things other than him. And what he said.
I'm sure there could be a better format than just this one-on-one interviewing Good Morning America
Yeah,
with all these
yeah.
people.
Yeah,
sitting
One on
around.
15.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, like I said, man, and plus, it doesn't need to be even a dialogue with him. I'm glad that he actually said it, because I said, again, a lot of people don't understand this particular form of racism that goes on.
Right. And that's the thing, him opening that up, it does open a chance for somebody to at least talk to him and somebody else to see that and go, well, that's not me. Well, shit, is that me?
Yeah. Maybe I
Yeah.
need to look at myself.
What he did was, to him, he's like, I was going out trying to protect the honor of a friend. To minorities, what you did was a very irresponsible and dangerous thing.
Yeah.
You know, and I get it. You don't understand. I mean, I hear it, and I've heard, you know, like, And I do think that there was probably, because he says, you know, I'm not a racist, but I'm willing to put my money on at the time he had some attitudes about people of color.
Sure.
Look, I just got through talking to a friend over in Ireland today, and they said, you know, they said, yeah, I don't think the guy's a racist, but hey, man, you know, we just had it when I was, and the guy's young, man, you know, he was like 26 or something like that. He said, man, in my school, they had a black person come to the school, and the guy had to leave because they were bullying the guy because it was a black person that came to the school.
Well, I remember back in that movie, The Crying Game, one of the lines that I think it was Forrest Whitaker said, he said, Ireland's the only country where they'll just walk up and call you a nigger to your face.
Yeah, man, look, we talking about young Liam Neeson.
Yeah.
They weren't black bastards. He's like, I'm gonna kill this nigga. I'm willing to bet that was an attitude that happened at the time. You know, I'm willing to put money on it. But
Sure.
but today,
and a lot has changed over time, especially in the last 5 years.
yeah. So I don't think, man. But you know, let's talk about it. Let's not walk past this. But definitely don't try to tear this man down. I mean, you don't tear people. Yeah. People are so used to getting angry at racism that we forget that racism also demands a dialogue itself. Some of the best ways of getting at people is not by fighting them and hating them.
It's by talking.
But by talking.
Yeah.
You know, I don't get people who want to, like, man, he canceled. Like, well, first of all, you ain't got a subscription to Liam Neeson, you know. He's not a magazine subscription or something, you know. He's not cable.
Cancel my payments.
Come on,
Yeah,
y'all.
I mean, I feel like he's going to be fine, though. I really
Yeah,
do.
he will be.
You know, just because nobody asked him what he thought, and he went out, you know, about that story, and he went in and said it. And I also feel like even when he's deflecting, and I'll leave it at that, I feel like he was trying to work his way around to something. But she was like, "No, motherfucker."
I like the way she said, come on back here.
Go here. Get your ass on back.
You see, in Ireland, we used to have these wars. I'm talking about this shit right now.
See how shitting is this?
I was filming shit in this. We filming your ass right now.
Yeah.
I'm talking to you.
Ain't nobody driving. So sit your ass down. This is on you.
She
now.
like, no, I'm driving now.
Look, but you just said.
No hate on my part of Liam Neeson. He's still cool with me, man. He's still cool. It just takes some understanding, that's all. Did you enjoy the video? Well, I would enjoy it if you hit the subscription button. And if you really love what we do, check out our main site, doubletoasted.com. Over there, you'll not only find the longer form versions of videos like this, but also the live streams that we do almost every night of the week. Support us over at dtmerch.com. And remember to always, that's right, stay toasty.